Obviously, the answer is Pep, I think. But with Klopp, the thing that the people who say Klopp always bring up is they say Pep couldn't have done what Klopp's done with that Dortmund team and with this Liverpool team. And that is like the one thing with Pep is he's not really built a team from scratch. He did a lot with that Barcelona team, for example, and he did have to um, reshape the Man City team with a lot of money, where he basically just threw money at the defense and stuff until he got it right. Essentially, I don't think that's the same thing as what Klopp's had to do, though, because ultimately he still had like a world class squad with Barcelona, a few upgrades, and then and he brought through players like Busquets as well. Absolutely fair enough. I'm not trying to discredit him, but it is very different from what Klopp's done. So it would be interesting to see how Pep did in one of those situations. The only thing is like when people say that, is like I can't imagine Pep not succeeding, because within a certain budget, I think he would eventually find himself being a success, whatever a success was for. Let's say he went to I don't know, just like an Atalanta, let's say, who are like a good side, but I think he could take them to the next level. I see no evidence as to why he couldn't. Whereas Klopp, when he's had these top sides, he's gone, toe to toe with Pep, and really being that close for a couple of those seasons is a massive achievement, which I think people really undervalue with Klopp. But Pep was still just that step ahead of him, even in those years. Klopp obviously had that year where they won the league, where they were fantastic. He's obviously won the Champions League with Liverpool as well. I think he's an unbelievable manager. But yeah, Pep, I think it's not just what he does in terms of winning things. It's the way he does it, and just how strict he is in his ideals as well. I find really admirable. The question I have about both of them as well is how well can they adapt? Because we've often seen Pep try to adapt and think of a new idea of how to outthink something, like in the Champions League final against Chelsea, and then get it wrong. And then with Klopp this season, things haven't been going as well for Liverpool, and he hasn't shown that he is willing or able to adapt. So those are questions like, when you're so focused on one idea of playing something, when you do try and change it up, it can actually be harder. Whereas they're a manager, like Thomas Tuchel, who I think is much better at adapting within a game or to different teams and stuff like that. So it's not that Tuchel's better than them, but I think that's an area they could improve. And moving into the future, it'll be really interesting to see how they do that. It's been very interesting to see Klopp this season, I think. But yeah, it's Pep, I think.